Dear Halo, you have always been a big part of my life. I remember when I was 3 years old, way too young to be playing Halo, watching my father trying out Combat Evolved. He is terrible at FPS games and handheld video controller. It's the first time I can remember playing a video game. I didn't understand a single word, but I absolutely adored everything about the game and was absolutely amazed when I landed on the ring for the first time. Then I got stuck in the tunnels with Warthog and it took a long time before I actually beat the game. After that, you were a big part of my childhood. I was the only kid in my class that played Halo, and that was actually one of my few social links. People would come by just to play either some campaign co-op or multiplayer split screen. When we played multiplayer, they always wanted to play Halo 4 because it had sprint. Damn Call of Duty players. But the most important part for me was to escape reality. The OG trilogy, Halo 4, Halo 3 ODST, Halo Reach and Halo Wars helped me a lot with that. Especially Halo 3. I remember when my dad ordered it for me a while after it came out. I checked the mailbox every day and when I finally got my hands on it, I was so excited that I ran inside, played the campaign and I absolutely loved it. So I replayed the campaign. And then I did it again, and again, and again. After 5 straight playthroughs I started to just open the thought of playing another game. Halo 3 is so important to me and the campaign will probably always be my favorite game of all time. Look, I didn't enjoy my childhood, but you were one of my favorite experiences as a kid. Master Chief was basically my safety net. Whenever I started a Halo game as a kid, I managed to forget everything outside and I could just enjoy my time. And when I play Halo 3 now as a young adult, I can actually remember how it was to be a happy, innocent kid. I don't know if that would have been the case if it wasn't for you. And I know I'm not the only one who has strong connections to you. What do you like about Halo?
Well, there's many things. First of all, I love the scenery and at least the art style and the world building.
Well, it comes from a multitude of reasons. For example, the expansive universe which the series have and the great storytelling in the campaigns.
It's fantastic. I love the design of the Covenant. I love the Marines, and I just love the atmosphere as well. Like, you go from these beautiful forests on top of the ring, and then you walk down and you see this Forerunner tech and all this technology long lost from an age far, far ago. And then you go to the Covenant ships and they look all alien, like they should be, and yet still recognizable in some way.
The series has great characters, such as the Master Chief, who acts as a good avatar for the player. Then we have people like Johnson, Cortana, and just several good characters.
I just feel like the art direction is absolutely phenomenal, but damn, it's not just the art direction. Something that is just as good as the art is definitely the gameplay. I absolutely adore the AI and how at least these enemies play out, because at least at the time, where let's say Combat Evolved, at the time Combat Evolved got launched, most enemy AI was go after you, shoot you. But here you have so many interactions. Grunts will run away, Jackals will cower when you get close but shoot you from far away, Elites will get mad when you throw a grenade, try to run towards you in a last-ditch effort to finish you off, and they'll go in melee. Like, there's just so much. Hunters are so scary, they shoot you from range and they go up close. Like, it feels like enemies in Halo are smart.
But I must also say that I, as an RTS fan, I didn't very much enjoy the 2 Halo Wars games.
What's your favorite moments from the campaigns?
Ooh, I must say I really did enjoy on the first mission of Halo 3. I wondered why suddenly why the game started running a bit slow and was becoming dark at that, and then Cortana just popped in for a little message. I know it's not the most popular opinion out there, but I really did enjoy those parts of Halo 3.
Why did you enjoy them?
because they had a nice little scare factor to them, and yeah, it sort of keeps the prize on your mind.
In my opinion, there's just so much to love about Halo, especially Trilogy, and this story. I love the story. Okay, like in Combat Evolved, it was simple and yet effective. In Halo 2, they expanded so much. There's so many new nuances. Also, no, actually, Halo Combat Evolved is not simple. Actually, I take that back. It's actually pretty cool, but it's not as deep as Halo 2. And Halo 3 is just that nice cherry on top of this big, beautiful ice cream cake. Halo 3 wraps it all up into a nice package. And then you have Halo Reach. Oh, Lord. Oh, goodness. That game is so emotional and so beautiful and so tragic. I love it, okay? And you know what? Let's include ODST. I like ODST too.
And then we can't forget, for example, blowing up a Scarab for the first time, mounting into it, then kaboom.
I think one of my favorite moments is, of course, the damn start of Halo 2 where Master Chief just casually sends a nuke at the Covenant ship. I love Halo 1's reveal of the Flood. Amazing. It's just this quiet, eerie setting. Like, you see dead Covenant soldiers everywhere. You see these weird parasites. You hear the tape of your the poor soldiers being run over and murdered by something, and then it gets revealed. It's the Flood, and it's just as horrifying as it's magical. I loved that moment. In Halo 3, what was no, okay, let's also take another moment in Halo 2. When I got to play as the Arbiter for the first time, I jumped. I was so happy. I remember you being there, actually. I just like, oh my goodness, I can play as the Arbiter? And yeah, I could, and it was phenomenal. Like, I got almost this childhood feeling. You know when you're a little kid, you go to a toy store and your mom and dad says, but you can buy anything. That's how I felt when I got to play as the Arbiter. It just got better and better. And then you have Halo 3, and that last mission when you have to save Cortana, it was grueling, it was difficult, but fuck, was it worth it. And damn, did you really feel tense, because I have to save Cortana, let's fucking go. And also killing the stupid Prophet, that was so satisfying. I love that. Okay.
Has any part of the Halo story made you feel emotional?
I must say that I very much like the way that they sent Cortana off in Halo 4, especially when you consider like a bit, reading between the lines of how she saw the possibility of Master Chief turning out like the dialect. So yeah, that part was actually very nice. And then, for example, we have the Arbiter in Halo 2 who understands or gets closer and closer to the realization that all he has fought for his entire life, his convictions, have been based upon false grounds.
One of the most emotional moments, it has to be Halo Reach. I feel like, especially the ending was so tragic. You hear the music and that creeping realization that you have lost everyone you had, everyone that you relied on, and then you're the last one standing, and you're about to be the next person who will eventually meet their end. You see the cracks in your helmet, you see that cutscene, and it is sad. It is so heartbreaking to see that these soldiers who fought so hard had only one reward, and that was death. And yet it was beautiful, because despite this bleak moment that all these Spartans experience, they still did a worthy sacrifice and got Cortana out of there and inadvertently saved all of humanity. And that's quite admirable. I feel that was beautiful. But I can't talk about the Halo games without forgetting to mention Halo Infinite, because as much as Halo Infinite might have garnered some kind of controversy and hatred, at least at the start or a little later in its development, even if the PvE was out, I still feel like Halo Infinite is a very good game, okay? And I feel like a very emotional moment. It was, I think, about when Master Chief met Weapon. You just see these flashbacks. Like, he's a tough guy, but you could also see that there's been some character development. I think that's pretty cool, Because when you make a sequel, at least, it's something like Halo Infinite, it's tempting to just do nothing, not progress this character at all because he's already good as he is. But for at least feel free to try do something new, I think that's pretty cool.
Which is your favorite campaign?
My favorite campaign would be Halo 2. It's a great saga. I also very much like the fact that you could, or rather that you did switch between the Master Chief and the Arbiter. Final mission was very great despite it crashing when you play co-op Legendary.
I think that what once made you so popular is that you had something for everyone. If the player wanted an epic story, they could play an epic story. If the players wanted to only play some simple 4v4 or BTB, they could do that. If the players wanted to relax by playing some custom games or niche game mode, they could do that as well. From Halo 3 forward, there are people who mostly just wanted to create stuff in Forge. You had something for everyone, and it's a bit sad that Microsoft and 343 haven't been able to ever match the amount of content that was in Halo Reach. It's probably pretty obvious by now, but the most important thing for me was the campaign experience you provided. Everything from remembering my first step on the ring in Combat Evolved, to seeing the Flood reveal for the very first time, which is just an absolute masterpiece when it comes to environmental storytelling. The shock and excitement when I played as the Arbiter for the first time. Finishing the fight in Halo 3 with one of the absolute best send-offs we have ever seen to a video game trilogy. Exploring the quiet and dark streets of New Mombasa for the first time in Halo 3 ODST. Seeing the reality of Spartans not actually being invincible super soldiers in Halo Reach, when Noble Team is getting picked off one by one. The devastating feeling when Noble Six sacrifices himself, and at the same time, despite how dark the end of Halo Reach is, it ends with humanity escaping with a little bit of hope. Watching the Spartan 2s kicking ass in Halo Wars. Even Halo 4, a campaign I now realize has many flaws, seeing that final cutscene will never stop being moving. I felt very immersed with these games as a kid. I might not feel the exact same thing today, but I just need to open these games or look at the game cases to remember that feeling I once had. I should also mention Infinite's ending. Even though I like Infinite's campaign, I think it has a few flaws, but that ending with Master Chief and Cortana is one of the few times a game has been hitting me real hard on an emotional level. It's a relationship I have been following my whole life, and it was really nice to see it getting such a nice send-off, especially when thinking about how mistreated it was in Halo 5. Overall, the best way I can put it is that these old game cases are containing a time that once was. They are time capsules, and when I see them, I feel all the emotions I have already described, but I also remember different things or persons from my life that aren't with me anymore. I think a lot of people can feel the same way when they're getting nostalgic. You just don't remember how it was to play that specific game, or whatever it is that you see as nostalgia. You remember how it was to be you, and the people who made it so. That old family pet that was your best friend. That family member that's no longer with us. That friend you thought you would hang around with for the rest of your life, but eventually grew apart. These games helped me a lot back then, but they also help me now to remember why I am the way I am. If I ever think the kid in me is lost forever, all I have to do is to play some Halo to know that's not the case. Thank you, Halo, for everything. Thank you for introducing me to gaming with Combat Evolved. Thank you for delivering one of the best sci-fi stories with Halo 2. Thank you for delivering my favorite game with Halo 3. Thank you for one of the funniest moments in my childhood when my friend and I actually thought we could beat the mission Lone Wolf in Halo Reach. Thank you for letting me introduce my friends to this awesome franchise with MCC. Thank you for, despite some pretty big flaws, telling a great love story in Halo 4. Thank you for helping me through this life. I hope there are more adventures to come. You had some interesting thoughts about the multiplayer.
I believe it's for neats, those who don't wish to add to society, rather leech off society. And this has nothing to do with the fact that I am totally arse at it. Nothing at all.
Any final words?
I don't think I can say those on YouTube.
Anything you want to add?
Well, quite frankly, I feel like despite the dark turn Hero Series has took for a while, I feel like Halo Infinite could be a new start. I hope that Microsoft gives Halo the love it deserves. I hope that 343 is no longer the shit studio it used to be, okay? And I so dearly hope that if there is a next Halo game, Aatrox is the main villain, and he's going to be glorious, it's going to be cool, and Aatrox and Sheaf are going to have a one-on-one, mano-a-mano, epic fucking battle, okay? No lock bullshit, no, ooh, look at this, I fight a random fucking idiot, fuck you. I want to fight Aatrox, but that's about it. Now leave me to my schizophrenic devices, I'll be seeing you later. Damn it!